Have you ever walked into a supermarket planning to buy only one thing but somehow walked out carrying five? Now, you must be thinking this happens because of your lack of self control. But believe me, this is just the surface of your story. Now, here are some better questions for you. Can you tell me why do your healthy habits or healthy food habits disappear during your stressful day? Why do you procrastinate in your clustered environment? The most common and accepted explanation is your lack of discipline. But the more complete explanation is that behavior changes when the context change. Actually, your surrounding or our surroundings are constantly suggesting different actions, and over the period of time these actions shapes our habit, and in the long term this habit shapes our personality. That's why changing behavior often starts with changing your environment, not because you're weak but because your brain is designed to respond to different context. So before blaming yourself for another poor decision, ask this one question: what is in my environment that made my choice feel so easy and accurate? Now, here is another situation for you. What if your decision begin long before you think you have made them? One of the biggest misconceptions about human behavior is that we make choices purely through logic. But in reality, our surrounding quietly shapes what feels like the right decision at the moment. Now, this happens because of one mechanism, that is decision fatigue. Actually, our brain has a limited mental energy. After making dozens of decisions throughout the day, it begins looking for shortcuts. That is why resisting junk food at 8 a.m. feels much easier than resisting it at 10 p.m. Now, it's not simply about willpower, it is also about a tired brain choosing the easiest available option. Now, this explains something much bigger than just eating or shopping. Now, this will shift your attention from judging yourself to understanding the mechanism. And this is the real lesson in this video. Like, human behavior or our behavior or your behavior is not random or logical. It's the visible expression of invisible influences. And the better you become at noticing those influences, the wiser your decision become. Because understanding those people, including yourself, doesn't begin by looking at the decision. It begins by looking at everything that quietly shapes your decision. So stop blaming yourself.